For over 150 years, Aussie rules football has united us, breaking down barriers and igniting hope with every game. From sun-soaked beaches to the rugged bush, in bustling cities and quiet towns, the game weaves us together. Through 3 uplifting stories of pride, resilience and participation, we witness something bigger than football. We witness remarkable transformations fueled by the unstoppable spirit of local communities that refuse to stand by. These powerful narratives challenge the status quo, shatter old norms, and redefine what it means to belong. In their triumphs and struggles, we discover a shared heartbeat, a vibrant celebration of our differences, and the incredible strength of footy country. In country Victoria, alongside the winding Goulburn River, lies Mooroopna, a town defined by its rural beauty, but burdened by economic hardship. Here, the youth confront the harsh realities of disadvantage, often trapped in a relentless cycle of struggle. Yet amidst this adversity, the Mooroopna Cats stand as more than just a country footy club. They have become a powerful story of resilience, renewal, and second chances. At the forefront of this movement is an extraordinary woman, steadfast in her mission to transform the futures of these young lives. She serves as a beacon of hope, igniting the spark for a brighter tomorrow in a community that so desperately needs it.
Working with young people has been a passion of mine my whole life. I'm a psychologist. I work in schools, and I was a teacher before I started working as a school psychologist. A lot of young people in Mooroopna come from backgrounds of poverty, significant disadvantage, really difficult circumstances. We would have families who financially are really battling. We have families, obviously, that are separated families, single-parent families. We have lots of kids who aren't living with their families, who are in out-of-home care or are living in kinship placements. They're living in homes where, there's no heating, there's no cooling, there's limited furniture, there's limited food, there's limited access. Sometimes there's no access to transport. They're footing it everywhere they go. And they don't get to do the things that other young people do. That's why they don't play sport, because they don't rock up with football boots. They don't have their football Guernsey. They haven't paid their registration fees, so they don't get the training top that everyone else has. They're the kids that come to school on out-of-uniform days in their school uniform because they don't have other clothes that they're proud of to wear. So they're the sorts of things that they're facing. Watching the struggles of lots of those kids and the heartbreak that they experience in their lives, that was really tough to watch. So I started trying to, change that trajectory is what we were really doing. We were really focused on improving pathways for young people and connecting them to community, which is something that I know makes just the greatest difference in the lives of those young people. So we had an incident. There was an incident earlier in the year where there was a break-in at our footy club. And the only thing that was stolen was some footballs. And a few people that were involved in the football club saw a couple of boys, they were well known in the local community as just kids that were on the street a lot. So there was some people that observed them leaving and heading off with the footballs, and nice enough not to accuse them there on the spot of taking the footballs, but knowing that they'd taken them. And I think that's the problem, when you feel like you're not part of a community, when you feel like you're excluded from a community, when you feel like you don't belong there, then why wouldn't you take something from that community if you're that kid that doesn't have anything, So that incident was a big catalyst for change here at the Mooroopna Football Club, because we pride ourselves on being a really inclusive club that really wraps around our community, and particularly kids and people in need. And so when that happened, we thought, these kids should be part of our club. They live in Mooroopna, they're here all the time, and we want them here. We want them to feel included. We want them to feel a part of it. And, our thinking was, they should have a footy. If they want a footy, every kid should have a footy. And it would be a really simple thing for us to provide something like that. And how could we do that? That was, I guess, the catalyst for this idea around the Telstra Footy Country Grant. We discussed the grants at our committee meeting, and we talked about this idea that if we provided some equipment, if we provided footballs, if we invited these young people into our club and gave them, I guess, a home, that we could make a real difference in the lives of these young people. And our committee was all for it, and so was our club president. I'm, really lucky to be in a football club that has that same sort of vision for making a difference, I guess.
For brothers Dylan and Blake, whose early years have been defined by unimaginable challenges, Mooroopna stands as a refuge, a place where they are genuinely valued and embraced.
4 years ago, our parents split up and there was a restraining order, and I can't see my mum, or he can't see Dad for about another 2 years. It's been hard, but we still get to see each other because we live in Mooroopna, so. It's a good football club. Everyone's nice, everyone's nice around here, respectful. If you come down here, support them, play for them, you get a free footy, you only get free lunch, or get to meet Vanessa.
She's a nice person. When I was struggling at school, she would help me and stuff. When I didn't want to go to class, I'd go see her.
I do feel like family.
It's like, that there's someone there for you when you're down, or when you want to go for a kick with someone, there's someone there.
When you're down at your lowest, she helps you get up. She's good to talk to.
For these young people, their potential knows no bounds at the Mooroopna Football Club. With mentorship, positive role models, hot meals, and a community that values them, Vanessa is nurturing their dreams and empowering them to rise above their past.
One of the most powerful things that we've witnessed in these young people that have been involved in some of these programs is just their own personal growth, which is probably the most important thing that can happen. That they have a greater sense of confidence, they have a greater sense of self-worth, they have a growth in self-esteem, they have a stronger sense of identity, they develop a sense of purpose. They start to see that, I can get work and I can earn my own money. Life doesn't always have to be this hard for me. They start to see that authority figures are people that they can form really great relationships with. So there's that respect for authority that comes along. There's respect for adults that comes along. There's this ability to see that people want to be there for you. You don't have to feel that you're not included. You don't have to feel like you don't belong. You don't have to feel like you're not valued. And they, this excitement about when some of the older players come and, give them a high five or use their names out there on the field, that their faces light up. It's so special to see some of that happening for them.
Well, hopefully, in a couple of years or whenever I get older, get drafted to Collingwood and, play Collingwood.
By offering opportunities for disadvantaged kids to play football, the positive impact is resonating throughout the local community and revitalising the Goulburn Valley Football League.
seen a huge change here at Mooroopna Football Netball Club and been working really hard with the club to, I guess, drive culture and change for especially our youth and our juniors coming through. We know that our country footy netball clubs are the backbone of many of our small towns, so it's really vital that we are connecting with everyone in that town.
We just love being part of this community. We've had a lot of representation come through this football club. I feel it's my grassroots where my family's growing up in Mooroopna, and yes, Mooroopna is part of my DNA.
I think it's a good atmosphere to be around.
It's good because, you know, I'm following my dad's footsteps over here in Mooroopna. I love it because I get to meet new people. I've got a good coach behind me, and I've got my sisters and my brothers supporting me here, out here, and yeah, loving it.
As the Mooroopna Football Club continues to be a beacon of hope, it not only transforms lives on the footy field, but also fosters a sense of unity and possibility off it. Through Vanessa's vision and the power of football, the community of Mooroopna is rewriting its story. One where every challenge is met with resilience, and where every young person discovers their light and strength to shine. On the Apple Isle, Hobart Football Club, a once mighty force in Tasmanian football, now faces an uncertain future. Its glorious past overshadowed by decades of struggle. Yet despite its decline, a new chapter is emerging. The Women's Masters League is rising as an unlikely saviour, uniting remarkable and inspiring women who find strength on the field and a community off it. They remind us that even in the darkest times, hope can ignite renewal and inspire a brighter future.
The Hobart Footy Club's been around, this is its 80th year this year. Played predominantly in sort of statewide footy in the TFL competition and the TSL competition. 10 senior premierships, a lot of players that have played AFL, VFL footy. Not a lot of success over recent years, but a lot of good people and a lot of families that have been involved with the club over quite a long journey. It's always been a really well-connected, a really small club, always seen as sort of the battlers up the road. We've been through sort of trial and tribulation through Hobart's history generally. About 10 years ago, we were kicked out of the Tasmanian Statewide League. As recently as last year, the club was in severe trouble with player numbers, sort of with only a handful of players sort of 3 weeks before the season. We sort of saw a shortage of women within the club, particularly within the playing stocks, and we saw that as sort of a shortfall, and we really wanted to address that and attract some quality people to our footy club and really add to the history of the club and to bring forward a future for us as well.
Just as Hobart identified a need to open up more football pathways for women, AFL Tasmania was fielding questions from enthusiastic footballers across the state who were eager to establish a Women's Masters League.
The Women's Masters competition this season came about from the players really asking us when we were going to start a Women's Masters competition. We've got a men's one, there's 9 teams in our Masters men's competition, so it came from the players themselves.
There was a great opportunity to come through AFL Tas. They looked at having 4 teams in this competition. When that opportunity came for us, we jumped at it straight away. We need to be looking at opportunities out there to rebuild and create more teams.
For a club already grappling with financial struggles and challenges in player retention, launching a new team was a significant risk.
Look, we did go out on a limb. Obviously, going for we got the licence, and not knowing if we get the numbers, it was really concerning. The pressure was on us. We've got no women's seniors team, so we can't pull any seniors players to play in the women's masters team. We had to really start from bare bones to get the women's program up and running. We needed trainers. We needed to get, obviously, a head coach or a coach as well. So we've had to start right from scratch. We've had to look outside the box as well and, you know, go onto social media and try and find players.
The club's relentless pursuit of players yielded an overwhelming response.
Some clubs worried they weren't going to have the numbers, but as it turned out, when it came time for round one, we had 4 full teams. There were 81 players, 41 of those players had never played a game of football before in their lives.
I saw an ad on Facebook for Masters football for over 35s, and it's the first year of Masters footy in Tassie for females. I thought, oh, why not give it a go? My kids have played for years and years. I've watched plenty of games. Looks like fun, so I'm 49. Surely I'm young enough, and gave it a crack. I've never played football before. Growing up, girls didn't play football. We got to play hockey or netball, and the boys played footy.
There's a lot of different upfront expenses with establishing a women's masters program. It's really hard in clubland to sort of generate money. I think the days of rattling the tins and raffle tickets only goes so far. We're lucky enough to be successful to receive one of those Telstra Footy Country grants, and it's really helped us to sort of absorb those setup costs and get the girls involved with the club. It's also helped us to keep the costs down for those that are involved as well, so that anyone can be a part of it, which has been really fantastic.
I think it matters because they haven't had that opportunity in the past. So, you know, they've now got kids, they're older, the kids have, you know, moved on from playing football. So now it's their turn to have a go at getting out there and enjoying it. You know, they've all followed football. Some of them, had, again, wanted to have a friendship and meet new people in the community, and that's what it's really about.
There hasn't been a pathway for us to play. We get outrun by the young ones, so, you know, Masters is where we belong, but there wasn't something, so when it came up, we were all in.
I can tell you now, they freaking hate that we're being aggressive. Freaking going so well, loving it.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of our team, there's probably, I'd say, strong 80% of the girls haven't played football before. Bit of groundwork to do there in the early days, but I'm very lucky as a coach to have a bunch of girls that actually really want to learn and really want to play football. Remember what I told you before the game, and I said that the one thing that I wanted to make sure that happened after the game was that team came over and said, holy you guys have improved. And I think, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I had probably the whole team come over and say it to me after the game. So that was freaking awesome. So, well done. All the supporters and everything that normally come watch our games, every single one of them said that was the best game of football they've seen you guys play so far this year. And I definitely agree, so well done to you.
For these women, they have forged an unbreakable sisterhood and created a culture that resonates throughout the entire football club.
We haven't won any games this year, but the actual the vibe and the friendships that have been created in the club from these ladies has been amazing.
It's a fitness thing, but it's also a connection thing. Everyone just wants somewhere that they feel like they belong, and I get the sense, especially at Hobart, because these women came often as individuals, that they feel like they really belong there, and they've created a really welcoming and encouraging environment for them, and they've stayed.
What keeps us sticking around is the friendships. It's just, you feel so close to the people that you're with.
Hobart Football Club, they have been so supportive to us, and they believe that we've helped make their club even more whole.
Yeah, they've advocated for us and included us and took us in like we've always been there and should have been there. Without any prejudice. We've just been taken in like a family.
I've got an 11-year-old girl that's interested in playing for the club next year in the under-12 side. They're going to have a Hobart under-12 side, and I need to, as a sportswoman in the past, make sure I'm up there with her. But it's for my mental health.
My daughter, she trains with us. We're actually going to a game very soon. She's got her game.
What's it like watching Mum play?
It's fun.
It takes a lot of confidence to do this. I'd have to say, you turning up to training and seeing your face every Thursday helps me actually keep turning up each Thursday. It's actually occurred to me.
Yeah, it's good.
So thank you.
By enabling female participation, the Hobart Football Club has seen a dramatic uplift in player numbers, volunteers and fans.
The part that I'm loving at the moment is the opportunities it's bringing to this club.
Yeah, well, the 25 or 30 new people that are helping out, they're smiling, they're enjoying themselves. They're sort of the best thing we can have for the footy club to really sell the culture and the history and what we're trying to do here and really add to that as well.
It's actually unearthed another set of coaches. It's brought along another sort of group of people to the club. That's sort of what's going to drive this footy club forward.
It really changed the demographic of the club and look, it's changing the culture and I think it's changing the thinking of this club.
I think with the women, like, they're just all in together and they celebrate each other's success. And I think that from our side of things, or at least from the men's side of things, that we could certainly take some of the learnings from that.
We've brought a bit of, I guess, family to the club. That motherly vibe, I suppose you could say, and just the excitement around the club. It's something new. It's the first year ever that it's happened, so everyone's really keen to get involved.
Yeah, there's just been genuine connection, just genuine excitement, just enjoying spending time with each other, and that's all sort of the footy's the conduit that allows that to happen.
We are winners. We are winners. Every time we play, we are winners.
As the Hobart Football Club embarks on a new chapter, it has these footballers to thank. In a game so often defined by wins and losses, trophies and ladder positions, new life has been breathed into this famous footy club, where family, community and culture are at the forefront, and opportunities for women, regardless of age or ability, are endless. In New South Wales, where the city meets the sea, change is underway. The Newcastle City Blues are not just simply preparing for another match, they are on the verge of making local history. For the first time, this proud club is set to host a Pride Round, a powerful statement against homophobia in sport, and an acknowledgement and celebration of the LGBTQIA+ community.
Newcastle City is my club. I've been playing for them for 4 years. This year I jumped on the committee and it was one of my goals to run our first ever Pride Round, and the committee was really supportive, and that's how we've ended up here today. Pride Round is really important to show that it's a safe and inclusive place. We also really want to show juniors coming up that they can keep playing sport no matter what their personality, sexuality, gender is, and that it's a safe place to keep joining in. And we also want to show the wider community that sport's a safe place for LGBTQIA+ people.
Newcastle City hosting a Pride Round, maybe it could help change someone's mind. Maybe it could help change someone's experience or their life experience, or maybe it might change a conversation.
Despite their tireless struggle for equality and acceptance, the LGBTQIA+ community in Australia still faces discrimination, with the scars of hate-fueled violence and hostility lingering today.
The queer community have faced a lot of shame for a very long time, which is obviously the opposite of pride. And I think that shame comes from such a long history of discrimination, of violence, and just hate. So there's still a long way to go. I think it's improved over the last probably 10 years, but there's still so much violence and hate towards queer people. If we can send the message that to be proud of your gender or sexuality, that it's okay and that that's a good thing, then I feel like we can start to heal some of the pain and hurt of the last, few hundred years. This weekend, with those Pride jerseys on as a symbol of support for the queer community, as a way of saying we don't just welcome you, we invite you, we want you to come and be a part of this club. Whether you're, queer or non-binary or trans, like, there is a place for you here. We will accept you, we will cherish you. We will do whatever we can to make this a safe space for you where you can really be yourself.
As part of preparing for Pride Round, the Blues enlisted the help of Pride Cup, an organisation which provides vital education on the history of homophobia in sport and society.
Sport's such an amazing connector in Australia. We all grow up, kicking a soccer ball or kicking a footy or connecting with others through play or through movement. And not every LGBTIQ person has always felt safe or represented in those spaces. At Pride Cup, part of what we do is support clubs to run Pride games, and we pair that with LGBTIQ inclusion education because we know that's the thing that shifts culture. So we know that a club who hosts a Pride game and participates in LGBTIQ inclusion education are likely to see a 40% reduction in homophobic and transphobic language in their first year.
Tonight's education session has just highlighted how much more we can learn and how much further we've got to go as a football club. We really consider this to be one of the most important parts of us celebrating Pride Round.
People spend a lot of time here, so it's really important that it is a safe space for people to come to and to feel comfortable and be able to be their full selves, because if we can't provide it, then there may not be another space for them to be able to do that in their everyday lives.
I think the most surprising thing was a lot of the stats that come out of it. You can really put it into perspective.
We as a community can be doing so much more to be inclusive and show the community that we are an open space, and no matter how you identify, no matter how you show yourself to the world, you can feel safe to express that when you're here.
Using the right pronouns, using non-gendered sort of inclusive language. Like our coach, he calls everyone groovers because not everybody in our team, it goes by she, her, girls, ladies, whatever. So he calls everyone groovers, and it encompasses everyone.
There are so many amazing people who are driving Pride rounds forward in their clubs, and often we're asked, do we still need these games? Are they still necessary? And the fact that we don't have any out men in the AFLM is the reason that we need these Pride games. And it starts at community level. When a club invests in a Pride round, they're not just, whacking a rainbow on it and playing a game of footy. They're actually signalling to the kids who walk past or the kids who are connected to the footy club that if they want to grow up and they want to play footy and they want to be queer, they can, and they will be respected and loved and safe.
With all 5 of Newcastle's teams coming together for Pride Round, it was a united effort to prepare the club both on and off the field.
We are a community club and we don't have money to spare. We run a pretty tight budget line as it is, and so getting the funds together for any kind of special event is always a challenge. The Telstra Footy Country grant really helped us get our basics out of the way, and by basics I mean stuff that makes it really visible that you're celebrating Pride. So we've got Pride Sharons for the women's games. We have lots and lots of decorations. We have rainbow goal umpire flags. We've got rainbow best on ground medals, special edition for Pride Round.
By creating an inclusive and progressive culture, the Blues have built a club that inspires everyone who walks through its doors to embrace their authentic selves.
So much of sport is about like overcoming adversity and challenging yourself and learning new things. That's the fundamental thing of what I love about sport. And so I think it's such a good space to be able to challenge something really big, like how we perceive gender within our whole community. I think I've always felt not exactly traditionally feminine, but I haven't exactly thought I've been traditionally masculine either. I think I've always sort of existed in a space that's somewhere in between the two. Growing up, I never really knew that there was other options. If you feel something that isn't quite neatly male or neatly female, you might exist in the space of non-binary. And that's a big umbrella term that sort of encapsulates everything from being gender non-conforming, some people who are trans identify as non-binary also. Yeah, it's a pretty big, broad category. I think, so one thing that is important is that people sort of make an effort to understand that there are different ways of existing. Agender isn't exactly a static thing. It can be very fluid, it can change over time, can change based on situations that you're in. Allowing space for that growth or that potential change, that's important as well. It can be hard to work out what spaces feel safe enough to disclose your own identity. It takes quite a lot of energy and effort to work that out. I think probably footy has been one of the best sort of experiences in that regard of sort of like feeling accepted within a queer identity. Coming here, the attitude has almost been like, of course your gender identity matters to us, and of course your sexuality matters to us, but it's not really a big deal. These things about you matter to us because you matter to us. We're here to play footy and we're just here to be a community and support one another in what we're actually doing. So yeah, that's been a really positive experience.
Allyship is essential for creating a safe and inclusive environment, and the Blues are dedicated to nurturing this value within their community.
It's not enough to just think, I'm an ally. You have to be out there actively doing things. There are so many smaller things that might seem insignificant to you, but are huge to those other people in the LGBT communities.
It's the real basic level stuff, and that's where you've got to start with, and it's your language and the way you treat other people, and it's just that communication thing.
It's really important to be inclusive of everyone because you don't realise who hears what you're saying, and you want to make sure that everyone feels included, no one feels like a minority for their beliefs or their sexuality or their gender or anything like that.
We want to be the guys who carry that standard of not just being good footballers, but good people. I think Pride Round is something that is a step in the right direction, that we can show the Newcastle community they're welcome here, they can express who they are, and they can be proud of who they are.
When we invite people to bring 100% of themselves, we know that we'll see them perform better on the field because they'll feel happy, they'll feel welcome, they'll feel like themselves, and they can just channel their energy into making connections with their teammates or playing better footy.
As Newcastle City Football Club forges ahead with its commitment to inclusivity, the impact of Pride Round has been felt far and wide. Through confronting the past and understanding the challenges ahead, the Blues are helping promote visibility, allyship, and are embracing diversity in all its forms. This essential stand against homophobia in sport is not just a statement, it's a commitment to creating an environment where every individual, regardless of sexuality or gender identity, can be celebrated and embraced. Footy, it's the great connector. It transforms lives, ignites hope, and fosters an unbreakable sense of mateship and belonging. It's our great equaliser, breaking down barriers, uniting us all, regardless of age, sexuality, or the challenges life throws at us. For these clubs, their efforts off the field echo far beyond the game. In a world often marked by division, they choose connection and the unwavering determination to uplift each other through the beautiful game of Aussie rules.